My name is TerryAnne Chebet. I am a media practitioner. I went to St. Bridget's Girls High School in Kiminini, that is in Kitale. My high school experience was fun. I actually really did enjoy high school. Apart from the food and some subjects I didn't really like a lot, most of it was fun. I was in drama, music, poetry, home science, like all the fun things. I was right in there from Form 1 up to Form 4. So mostly it was fun. You know, I remember like most of my beautiful memories from high school. I was a good student. Academically, I was gifted, if you can say that. I was always doing things that took me away from the classroom because I enjoyed doing extracurricular activities. But generally, I was a good kid. I wasn't punished much. I was not a noisemaker. Okay, I was a prefect, so I think my teachers would agree if you spoke to them today that I was a good student. My best subject, English, of course. One, I guess because I was good at it, and I grew up in a home that pushed us to study English, to read books, to enjoy stories, novels, everything. I really enjoyed home science. I guess because of the food, and I still like to cook, thankfully, until now. And biology and geography and history. History because I love stories and I still do. So those were my favorite subjects, and actually they're the ones I did the best in. Subjects that gave me the most challenge: chemistry, physics, and mathematics. I couldn't get chemistry at all. So even that's one of the subjects I really panicked about when I got to do my KCSE. I was more of an arts student than a science student. If I had the chance, I would have dropped math. We did a lot of naughty things in high school. Well, for one, I refused to go back to school in Form 1 second term. And that was the strangest experience even in my family. I think because I'd been such a good student and a good girl at home. So when second term came and I just said I'm not going back to school, even my parents were in shock. So I stayed home for about 2 weeks. Honestly, I wasn't doing anything at all. I just wanted my parents to change me and take me to another school. There was a time in school I didn't eat in the dining at all. And I remember one of my teachers telling me, Chebet, you're ganging up with bad girls, hiding in the dorm sometimes, or saying I'm sick and I'm not really sick, just because I wanted to sleep some more. Just, normal teenage things, which now when I look back, I'm like, what was that about? Because school was actually fun. Oh, I had many favorite teachers, but by far, I guess, and the one who has had a bigger impact for me is Mr. Indiazi. He was an English teacher, also a drama and poetry tutor. So he really pushed me to what he believed, that you have talent in this space, you're confident, you speak well. So Mr. Indiazi is one of the ones who really made an impact for me, and he was amazing. He was amazing. But my favorite was Mr. Mutai. He was an agriculture teacher, even though I didn't like digging much. But he was very warm and very kind and very funny. He had a great sense of humor, even though he acted, or he wanted to think like he didn't. It was really nice. He was my favorite teacher. My most valuable experience through high school was actually the leadership of our then principal. Her name is Mrs. Wachie. And I would say she taught us to be ladies. She taught us the value of self-respect, of honesty, integrity. And even though we were young and we didn't, sometimes we'd be like, oh my God, like, what's all this about? And we're too young to be talked to. But until now, it's some of the values that she instilled in us then that, I still hold by. It's, and it was everything from sit up straight, look at somebody in the eye when you're speaking to them, address people correctly. When an older person is speaking to you, be respectful, sit properly, listen to, to those who are more experienced than you. So it was a lot of guidance and mentorship, even though it was not like a single one-on-one mentorship. And I respect her a lot for that. When I was in high school, like between Form 1 and Form 4, I thought I would take I thought I would do law. There was a time I wanted to be a teacher. Then there was a time I wanted to be a lawyer. But when I got to Form 3, Form 4, then I got a lot of encouragement around me to think seriously about journalism, which is what I ended up doing. So right after clearing Form 4, first I was so bored. I had too much time on my hands. And so I was like, now what am I going to do? So I was very active in the youth group in church. So that took most of my time. I used to act a lot. I was in the worship team. We were doing all these youth group things. Everything that I could get my hands on, I did. So we built a church. We did cleanup of the town. We taught in Sunday schools. I liked to be busy, and it was fun because I met amazing people. I earned a bit of money. I learned a lot. I learned to be, first of all, I guess, assertive. Because when you come to a high school where, let's say in your primary school, you were like, smart, and then suddenly all of you are like the same, and there's other people who are smarter than you, and they're from so many different places in the country. Because primary school, you're basically around, people from your community, but high school was completely different. So that was one, just being assertive, because there was a bit of bullying at the time as well. So we had to be, one, respectful to every person, take views of other people without feeling like your view has to be the best or the most important. I guess I also learned the value of friendship. For me, and some of the strongest friendships that I have started in high school when I was 14, right from Form 1. And I think that's one of the best places to actually build friendships that that last. But the friendships have to have a balance. The friendships have to have, yes, it's fun times, and I'm all about fun times too, but I'm also all about growth, because sometimes we underestimate how friendships can bring you down completely. Those are invaluable lessons, invaluable people, and hanging on to your dreams. My first job was junior producer at KBC, Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Well, when in college, I went to KBC as an intern. And I made friends within the organization. So when I finished college and there was really nowhere much to go, I went back to KBC and asked if they could give me, internship, anything that I could do in the departments that I'd worked in. I believe I also made a good impression on my supervisors. So they gave me an opportunity to come on board as a junior producer. So I produced kids programs and some music programs as well. And I introduced, I think, 1 or 2 youth programs when I was in KBC. So that was my first job. I used to earn 12,000 shillings. That was fun. I really enjoyed that job. It taught me so much about the career space. And what I found very interesting about that job, compared to everything else I've done afterwards, is that at that point, because you're young, that environment was one that encouraged growth. So they gave us space, which way in your career nobody really does give you. They expect you to know. But yeah, my first job was fun. I was then able to buy lunch at Steers for the first time ever, like chips and burger and chicken. So that was nice. I really enjoyed that. So to get to where I am today, it has taken a lot. And I guess just to be clear, I'm not yet where I want to be. There's so much further I want to go. There's so much more I want to do. There's so much more impact I want to make. There's so much more money I want to make. There's so much I want to learn. So many places I want to travel to. So there's so much more. So I learned earlier on, at least at my first job, the importance of having somebody who actually has your back. And has your back in the sense of they want you to grow. They want you to learn, they want you to find new opportunities. But looking back now, like truly in retrospect, I'm glad I listened to the people who spoke to me. And those are the things that, in a sense, have brought me to where I am today. A lot of hard work, a lot of focus, a lot of determination, but also having fun along the way. I wish I paid more attention to some of my lessons, like some of the ones I mentioned earlier, like math, like chemistry. And the reason I say that is because sometimes when you're getting into your career, there's some things that you would have been easier if you paid attention to those things. And also just because I played around a little bit, I didn't make it into uni. I wish I did. One, my parents it would have been easier for them because the school fees at the public university was a lot more affordable than the private college I went to, for instance. I wouldn't have struggled so much with, all the other tertiary education after that. So I would have told myself, just pay attention to school. And it's just 4 years. It's not, your life is just beginning. I would tell myself, relax, take your time, focus on school. Life on the other end will happen, and it will happen just great. So, and relax and enjoy. And don't be too hard on yourself. Oh my God, if Darasa was there when I was in high school, I would actually get to pick the kind of teacher I want to listen to. The fact that there's animation, there's, live video, I think it would be easier to understand some of the concepts that were otherwise a little tougher. I would then, be able to just do my homework after class, at home on weekends, interactively. Honestly, if I was in high school now, I think even just go so much farther. I think it's such a wonderful opportunity for guys who are in high school. And they say there's no better thing as perfect timing. So you guys have all the fun in the world. And I wish I was in that class with you. I'll probably actually take some Darasa classes just to see what it's like. I'd like to encourage any parent out there, if your child is in high school, this is an absolutely amazing place to just look at it for yourself and see how the lessons are being delivered. Our children and children of that age are different from who we are at our time. There's social media space. They're a lot faster with on the technical side. They crave a little bit more entertainment than we did. Because for us it was like we're being drummed in lessons, but now there's a chance for young children and children in general to actually engage and be part of the conversation and enjoy learning. And I would say Darasa is the best place for that. It's interactive. There's animation. There's video. There's entertainment, which is entertainment value in education just makes such a complete shift in how education has been done.